Principal Secretary to the Honorable Governor, to the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed grieved on the tragic train accident in Odisha, and let us observe a 2-minute silence for the victims. Thank you all. Thank you so much. We now request you to raise the national anthem, followed by the accompanying Bible.
Parkulle nalana பரலோகத்திலே ஆகத்திலே தெய்வ பக்தி கொண்டாட்டம் அருளினிலே உயர் நாடு இந்த பாரத நாடு. பாருக்குள்ளே நல்ல நாடு எங்கள் பாரத நாடு. பாருக்குள்ளே நல்ல நாடு எங்கள் பாரத நாடு. பாரத நாடு பாரத நாடு பாரத நாடு பாரத நாடு.
Thank you so much. Now we have request the Honorable Governor Chancellor to light the traditional lamp, the Reputed. We also welcome Professor Krishna Shastri, Chairman, Bharatiya Bhasha Samiti, Ministry of Education, New Delhi, to light the traditional lamp. We call Dr. V. Bharati Harishankar, Vice Chancellor of Avinashi Research Institute for Home Science and Higher Education for Women, to light the traditional lamp. We also welcome Professor Adithanar, Vice Chancellor, University of Lucknow, Professor Vedra, Vice Chancellor, Anna University, and we request the other dignitaries to join us for lighting the traditional lamp, the Kuttuvilaku. We thank all the dignitaries for lighting the traditional lamp, the Kuttuvilaku, for inaugurating the session. Now we request the Principal Secretary to the Honorable Governor, Thiru Anand Patil, to deliver the welcome address.
Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu and Chancellor of State Universities, respected Jagdish Kumar Ji, Chairman of UGC, Chairman, joining us through audio visual board. Respected Chamu Shastri Ji, Chairman of Bharatiya Bhasha Samiti, Government of India. Respected Alok Rai Ji, Vice Chancellor of University of Lucknow. Respected Nageshwar Rao Ji, Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi Open University and Chairman of UGC Committee for Production of Textbooks in Indian Languages. Dr. Buddha Chandranikar, CCO of AICT and developer of very important translation tool called Anuvadini. Dr. Velraj, Vice Chancellor of Anna University, all the respected Vice Chancellors of state as well as private universities, officers from district administration and government of Tamil Nadu, ladies and gentlemen, அனைவருக்கும் எனது இனிய காலை வணக்கம். Very warm good morning to all of you. I hope you are enjoying the Ooty climate. Yes or no, sir? Honorable Governor, sir, was very particular to have this conference during these days here because Tamil Nadu had very high temperature, very hot weather, and I think Ooty has given the big change. Though you have to travel a lot to come to this place. I am very happy and welcome you because I was collector of district collector for this place for 3 years, and this is like a heaven for all of us, and for not only Tamil Nadu, for people of India. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you for this very important conference. You are aware that last year in April, Honorable Governor has conducted 2 days Vice Chancellor's conference, and it was on the very important theme of world order. And many efforts have been taken by you. I am seeing the many Vice Chancellors who attended those conferences are present here, and you would like to share your experience with other people also. Few are new Vice Chancellors who are attending this conference first time, so I welcome those people also and request you to have a discussion in this conference. The conference has 2 important things. One is the translation of textbooks of higher education courses in Tamil language, which is very important, as well as effective implementation of national education policy in various levels at the universities. I, at this juncture, would like to bring few initiatives. Many of you are aware, particularly media also aware of these initiatives, that Honorable Prime Minister is very keen to change the higher education, quality of higher education in India, and with that mission Honorable Governor has taken a lot of initiatives. She has travelled from across the districts. Every university has went not only for a single function, it is 2 days visit. Sir has visited your universities, had the convocations, had the discussion with the students, had the discussion with the teachers, the syndicate, academic council, board of members, everybody, and listened to you. He has given very inspiring thoughts to you, and understanding what is happening at the grassroots level. And with the same zeal is still continuing. He is coming. Even recently, Agri University has conducted an international conference where Sir has personally came to Coimbatore, interacted with all the high dignitaries, and with such a personality, I think it is blessings for Tamil Nadu to have such an active person. I am his principal secretary for since the Sir has joined. I seen the immense energy in him. It is like a student, like a college student, is full of energy. From morning till late night also. Sometimes we have to disturb in the night, but Sir will be having the same energy. Yes, Anand, tell me what is the issue, like that. So never ever I seen him irritating for approaching him for any important things. And you are lucky. Even many Vice Chancellors are also aware that he has backed you always for all your good initiatives. Honorable Governor has visited Kasi Tamil Sangam in Varanasi, and there he come across this Banaras Hindu University, some students who are learning Tamil, non-Tamilian. அவங்களுக்கு தமிழ் தெரியாது, தமிழ்நாடு ஆள் இல்லவங்க, UP, BR அந்த ஊர்லேருந்து வந்த students. So he got impressed with those students that they are learning Tamil. They are doing degree courses, they are doing diploma courses along with their other courses. So Sir had meeting with all our Tamilian professors, students there, as well as those students. And then he invited them to Tamil Nadu. Those people thought it is just a formal invitation. After Sir come back, he asked me to write to the Vice Chancellor. He himself spoken to Banaras Hindu University Vice Chancellor. He asked them to finalize the program. And I am very happy to share with this August gathering that those people, around 20 people, along with their professors and the teaching staff, they visited Tamil Nadu. You can clap for that. Sir doesn't give promise just for the namesake. He implemented that. They came to Rameshwaram. From Rameshwaram they gone to Tirunelveli. They came to Madurai, visited universities, tourist places. Even Tuticorin port also they visited. They came to Trichy. Then Shastra University also hosted them. Tamil University hosted them. Finally they came to Raj Bhavan. And I am again very happy to tell you that when they introduced themselves, it was not in English. Ang Tamil le pesnanga. That is the big. And Tamil is a very rich language, very oldest language. So we are proud of that, and we have to bring all the other rich language knowledge
in other rich languages, we have to bring that to Tamil. So that is the purpose of at least higher education. All the books should be in Tamil. That is the purpose of Honorable Governor. Again, he has conducted workshop for 2 days in Raj Bhavan. 200 students from various districts, not only one district, from Ramanathapuram till Ooty till Chennai, all the districts, all the university students came there for 2 days and attended this One Bharat Shrestha Bharat, Ore Bharat, Unnat Bharat, Connecting India series. And many students after the program, they told that we are not aware, ourselves we are not aware that such a rich tradition, such a rich culture India is having. Even one, I would like to say this, that one boy came to me and sir, he told me that I was hating India. I shocked to know that he told me I got lot of bad experiences. I was hating our country. But after listening to Honorable Governor, after attending that session of Connecting India, he was crying actually. He told me, such a great country I born, I feel blessed now. So that is the important thing, to bring the youth to what is the culture of the rich culture of this country, and that can be done through the local languages, and that is the purpose of your national education policy. Again, I am happy to tell that Honorable Governor has first time, whatever I am telling you is all the happened first time in the history of Raj Bhavan. Conclave of Excellence in Higher Education in Tamil Nadu was conducted on 4th August 2022, where few of the universities, top 10 universities in NIRF rank attended that. And he not only honored those people, sir wanted those people to do the presentation, and many of you have attended that session. So it is interaction, it is sharing of experience and bringing the best out of other institutions also. That is the purpose of Honorable Governor. You are again aware that we are doing through Raj Bhavan, sir has initiated research, special research on the unsung heroes of Tamil Nadu, who are not known to the people of Tamil Nadu itself. It may be known to the few people, but not celebrated. So sir is working on that. Almost 90 has been finalized, another few will be also added. So more than 100 scholars, they are doing the research on these 100 unsung heroes, and that will be coming up in due course. Again, I am happy to tell you that whenever there is the possibility to meet the students, even from the schools, from the colleges, and sir interact with them. The student studying at 5th standard, he comes on the stage and speaks very confidently. And recently also Law University, 2 students came and they spoken very well in our Raj Bhavan in front of Honorable Governor. So he not only telling you, his experience, making the experiment, call the people, train them, let them speak, let them understand what is Tamil Nadu, what is India, and get the confidence. I again take this opportunity to welcome Honorable Governor sir for this special conference. It is a historic conference for all of us. I take this opportunity to welcome Professor Jagdish Kumar. Last year he personally came here. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen incident, he couldn't come. But sir spoken to me yesterday. He has sent his video, so which we will watch here. And he was very keen to attend this and interact with you. But we will be listening through the video conference. I again welcome Thiru Chamu Krishna Shastri ji. He is the chairman of Bharatiya Bhasha Samiti, Bharat Sarkar. You may be again knowing that sir has played a very pivotal role in arranging this Kashi Tamil Sangam. He is the person with rich knowledge of culture, tradition of India, all over India. So we are happy with your august presence, sir. Welcome to Raj Bhavan and this conference. I take the opportunity to welcome Professor Nageshwar Rao, Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi University. Sir is not new to us. He is already chairman of panel for search committee in Vice Chancellor search committees. So welcome to this place, sir. Very important guest is with us. Honorable Governor visited Lucknow University, and there he found that Professor Alok Kumar Rai, this Vice Chancellor of University of Lucknow, is doing a wonderful job. And sir invited him. And sir, you with Biju schedule also you are present with us. Whereas coming from Lucknow to Ooty is very difficult task. You have to change a lot of flights and come here. Thank you so much, sir, for coming here. His rich experience, successfully implementing the national education policy there. The sharing of experience will be very, very useful for all of us here. Again, Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar Rao, who is a young scientist, is doing wonderful job with this. He has developed this Anuvadini translation tool. So welcome sir for this conference. First time, last year we organized this conference on our own. This time Anna University has proudly joined us hosting this conference. So I welcome Dr. Velraj for this conference. And as always, Honorable Governor says that Vice Chancellor should lead in example without fear or any intimidation. He is doing wonderful job. He has changed the curriculum of Anna University, which was pending for long. And I think it is a silent revolution, and that is going to help the state, and that is going to help the country. So, sir, thank you so much for your presence here. I take this opportunity to welcome all the Vice Chancellors. I know you are quite busy. You have to reschedule your work, and then you are present here. Somebody has to attend even Delhi conference, but still you are here. So thank you very much all the state university and private university Vice Chancellors for gracing this. Some Vice Chancellors are not there, so they are represented by their equally important people. So welcome all of you, welcome to this gathering. I take the opportunity to welcome the district administration, representative of government of Tamil Nadu, and my dear media friends. You know me, I know you very well for long, more than 10 years. So this is very important gathering. I welcome you for this. I take this opportunity once again to welcome Rajbhavan Parivar, Rajbhavan family, where you are also part of that, and all the people present here. I think this conference will make a grand impact to come up with action plan for translation of textbooks of higher education courses in Tamil language and implementation of national education policy in a very effective manner. I recall speech of Honorable Governor in last conference where he said that, and I quote, that in the new world order, nation is looking forward by pulling our enormous human resources and youth power to succeed in our mission of becoming a world leader by the year 2047, while our nation will be celebrating 100th year of freedom. It is our tradition to do good for the fellow human and all other forms of life. It is collective responsibility of every citizen, particularly youths, to mark their contribution for prosperous India, for a peaceful and prosperous world. The quote is completed. I think you are the people, the Vice Chancellors, you are shaping the career of the youth. You can lead in this mission. You should play a very important and very active role in this. Honorable Prime Minister of India wanted India to become 5 trillion economy. He is working very hard, and many of the states also helping in that. And that is possible only when we are giving right skill set to the youth. We are giving the right mindset to the students, when we are giving the right confidence to the students to stand on their own feet, which is very, very important, and universities only can play that role. Honorable Governor want you people to lead in that and make Tamil Nadu to lead in India. That is very important. India is going to become the Vishwaguru. In that, Tamil Nadu should have very, very important role. And that can be done with your hard efforts. Many of you are doing that. We appreciate that, and we request you to continue that good work. Before concluding, I would like to recall the words of Swami Vivekananda. I quote, this is Swami Vivekananda said that we need education through which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, and the intellect is expanded, by which one can stand on his own feet, which is very, very important. We have 1.4 billion population, and many of them are youth. When they stand on their feet, when they confidently say, yes, I am Indian, I want to lead, when they start earning on their own, when they start their startups, they start their multinational companies, and go out, not only in India, go out of India, I think that will be the biggest success what you people are doing it. Again, I take this opportunity to welcome all of you, particularly our Honorable Governor and all the esteemed guests on the dais. மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை அலுவலக மாளிகை சார்பாக உங்களுக்கு அனைவரும் இந்த சிறப்பு நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு வருக என்று வரவேற்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம். ஜெய் ஹிந்த், ஜெய் தமிழ்நாடு.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now we request the Honorable Governor Chancellor to felicitate our guest. The Honorable Governor Chancellor will now felicitate Professor Chamukrishna Shastri, Chairman Bharatiya Bhasha Samiti, Ministry of Education, New Delhi. To shed off the chillness, I think claps is essential. The Honorable Governor is felicitating Professor Chamakrishna Shastri, Chairman Bharatiya Bhasha Samiti, Ministry of Education, New Delhi. A big round of applause to make this morning even more active. Thank you, sir. The Honorable Governor will now felicitate Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Vice Chancellor, University of Lucknow. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Governor is felicitating Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Vice Chancellor, University of Lucknow. Thank you, sir. The Honorable Governor will now felicitate Professor Nageshwara Rao, Vice Chancellor, IGNOU. I think we can have good round of applause because like all of you have come all the way from here to celebrate this moment, to bring in a lot of revolution in the lives of students, the future of tomorrow. So good round of applause, and this Raj Bhavan should resound with your applause, and the Honorable Governor will now felicitate Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, CCO, AICTE, with the resounding sound of your applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We now request the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Chancellor of Universities, to address the gathering.
Respected Thiru Chamakrishna Shastri, Chairman Bharatiya Bhasha Samiti, Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Vice Chancellor, University of Lucknow, Professor Nageshwara Rao, Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Open University, and Chairman UGC, Committee for Production of Textbook in Indian Languages, Dr. Velraj, Vice Chancellor, Anna University, Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, CCO, AICTE, and developer of Anuvadini. And of course, our Professor Jagdish Kumarji, who is, though physically not present here, he has given his message, what he wanted to say. He wanted to come personally, but he couldn't make it due to commitment there, contingent commitments. And I'm sure soon we will organize a face-to-face interaction with you all. He will come. Honorable Vice Chancellors of the state and private universities, distinguished dignitaries, friends from media, Anaivarkum Vanakkam. This one-day conclave of eminent educationists and thought leaders of Tamil Nadu, who are shaping the destiny of all our youth, 100,000 youth of the state. This conclave is very crucial because today we will deliberate on how to impart appropriate education to our youth. And I am thankful to Professor Jagdish Kumar, Chamuk Sastri ji, Nageshwar Rao ji, our Chandrasekhar ji, all these resource persons, those who are present here, Professor Alok Rai of course, to share their experience and help us all in making the education more time appropriate. When we say appropriate education, it means education which meets the needs and demands of the time. An education that meets the needs and demands of the time is the only appropriate education. And the times have been changing, and now it has been changing very fast. Human society has evolved through various phases for a very, very long time until the advent of industrial age. We were living in agrarian time. The needs and demands of the agrarian time were something different than subsequent years. When industrial age came, then the needs were to have workforce conversant with industrial technology. When industrial age came, it also impacted on the agrarian industries, agrarian activities by bringing mechanizations, by introducing the benefit of industries. After the Second World War came the age of ICT, Information Communication Technology. This transformation that happened, as you all know that it was necessitated, it was a byproduct of a Cold War between Soviets and Americans. While Soviets kept building on their military strength through numbers, Americans, they knew that if they adopted that policy, they would go bankrupt. They didn't have that kind of wherewithal and resources. And so they invested in newer technologies, development of newer technologies, and that led to growth of ICT. Now, when ICT came, it had a different demand. Its needs and demands were different. We needed more people conversant with computer and computer applications. It created a large service sector. In fact, it was a boom. And many advanced countries and corporates, they started coming to India, and there was a boom of call centers. Our people who were not very adept, and they were not engineers, they were not people qualified with high degrees, but they knew to operate computer and computer applications. They started getting good jobs, well-paid jobs, and the call centers boomed. It had its own needs and demands. Then it came the digital age, the age of internet. It placed its own needs and demands, and we all know that today we are in age of artificial intelligence. Now, with the passage of time, while we have been evolving to higher, or we should say different stages, it has impacted all those, the earlier stages also. Today in the artificial intelligence, it has impacted our agriculture, agro-industries in many ways, production, processing, marketing. It has impacted industries, it has impacted ICT. So as it grows, while it impacts, it makes the lower stages more sophisticated, but it also places a demand of a higher order. The question that we are facing today is, are we aligned to, or are our higher educational institutions aligned to the needs and demands of artificial intelligence age? We know that our state, Tamil Nadu, it did very well in a spread of education. The early decades of independence, there were leaders here like Tirukamaraj and all, who gave a huge boost to education. Subsequently, it was a spread. It also, subsequent governments, through their policies, gave a wide spread, making it accessible to larger number of people. And we reaped the benefit of it. This spread of education, it gave boost to our economy, it gave boost to our delivery of services, and Tamil Nadu became the front rank or the leading state in the country. And we kept that position for quite some time. Now, what is the situation today? Today we see that our state, which was the leading, is among the leading states of the country. In many areas, from number 1, we have come down to number 5, number 6, number 7. Our spread of education has been phenomenal, and that is how our gross enrollment ratio is almost double the national average. But the question is that horizontal spread of basic education is not enough, is not able to meet the needs and demands of the time today. And the result is our youth are not getting the jobs commensurate with their degrees. When I meet the leaders of industries, in the course of discussions they express a serious concern that they are not getting employable engineers in our state, and that comes in the way of their expansion. Today the situation is somewhat anomalous, that our polytechnic students are getting better jobs, they have a better prospect, these ITI diploma holders, than our engineering graduates. We know that our graduates and postgraduates are doing blue collar jobs to earn some living. We have postgraduates teaching in colleges at 15,000, 20,000 rupees a day, a month, which is almost like a daily wage earner. Now this is certainly not a dignified livelihood, and it is impacting on our productivity of our graduates and postgraduates, and productivity of the state, and of course the nation. Now this a steady decline in our human resource is the most serious concern of ours. Everything said and done, if we have a quality human resource, that will ensure that we surge forward with pride. Today, I am afraid we are not able to say that. Today we are relatively better than many states, the states which are way behind in our country. But there is a relative decline, and the decline is steady. And this is primarily because of decline in our human resource, and this is primarily because we are not able to give them education which are aligned with the needs and demands of the time. We have to think over it seriously, because if our youths are not getting education which is appropriate to the time, which is affecting their life, their growth, affecting the state's growth, affecting the country's growth, you and I, you as vice chancellors, I as the chancellor of the state universities, we cannot escape responsibilities. We are responsible for it to a great deal. We must not pass on the responsibility to others. Another problem that we face, I have my experience, is graduating students in humanities, arts. We still have a large number of students graduating in humanities. We know that their job prospect is very, very bleak. What do they do? Where do they go? Now, we have to think about them because their number is very large. And here comes the prospect of multidisciplinary teaching. A history graduate, a graduate in political science or philosophy, if that graduate, he or she, has an opportunity that while doing the graduation, he takes break and goes to a field, an area which is of his interest, let's say computer applications. Now the degree that he gets is not only just history or political science, but also it qualifies him to look for a job which are needed, which meets the need and demand of the time. Now these are the core elements of our national education policy. How to impart education which are relevant to the time, how to impart skills that the knowledge is not merely theoretical. Through multidisciplinary, I know that there are students there who are not very good at math, and though scared of math, they move to humanities. But they need not be very good in mathematics, if they move on, there are many areas with ample opportunities, which if they acquire requisite knowledge and skill in those areas while doing graduation, he comes out with a degree which gives him opportunity in the market. Today, we will listen to Professor Jagdish Kumarji, his thoughts, his experience, and as I said, we will organize in coming weeks a face-to-face interaction with him. We also have on these issues Vice Chancellor of Lucknow University. I had occasion to visit recently and I was deeply impressed by the quality of interactions with the students. Now he has a rich experience in implementing the national education policy, for which he doesn't have to look to government, because universities are autonomous entities. Universities are not like departments of a state government or any government. Within that autonomy, there are many areas where we can work and we can make our youth, our graduates, worthy of the time and enable them to live a dignified life, earning dignified livelihood. Today, we also have a serious problem about language. My experience with lot many students, not only students in universities and high schools, higher secondary schools, but also with entrepreneurs. Many entrepreneurs have been interacting, their bodies, their associations have been interacting. Because I have been concerned about why is it that still we have a significant number of our youth going to humanities. Why are they not confident to go towards a STEM discipline? And one thing which emerged out of all this interaction is many of our students, a large number of them, are not comfortable with English language. They have a problem, and right, we can't blame them. After all, English is a foreign language. But they are very comfortable in the mother tongue. And here, when the Prime Minister, with his vision of building a nation for future, preparing a nation for the future, and that to a time-bound future of next nearly 25 years, when this mission was launched, how to make our education more time appropriate. Through all the churning, it also came out that teaching and learning in mother tongue, in regional languages, not only in schools but even in higher institutions. And I am told, of course, Chamu Krishna Sastri is there, he will be able to share and explain at length. Today, we have a huge deficiency of textbooks in a STEM discipline in regional languages. Now, if we translate and make the textbook in science and technology available in Tamil language, many of our youth who are moving away to humanities because of their discomfort with English, that can be overcome and they will be our precious human resource. And that again is a very, very important area. You all remember, both the state universities and private universities, I have written a letter after the central government, especially Professor Jagdish Kumarji, wrote to us requesting our universities to take lead in translating the text, translating as well as creating new text in Tamil language. Some of you are already doing it, in fact most of you are doing it, but you might be facing certain inconvenience, difficulties, and here we have experts who will be able to suggest, who will share with you how to smoothen it. But the fact is that it is our responsibility to produce textbooks in science and technology in all the STEM discipline for higher education. This thought that we cannot be engineers, we cannot be doctors, we cannot be doing a good scientist unless we know English, that has to go out. We know China, Japan, all these countries, there hardly anyone talks or reads English. They have their languages. But somehow we have been so much obsessed with English that still we believe that somewhere it is there, lodged in our subconsciousness, that it is imperative to learn English for learning science and technology. That must go. We must erase it from our mind. This enslavement, mental slavery, it must be got rid of. So we have to create sufficient number of books in science and technology in our own language, that is Tamil language. We talk about it, but we need to do sufficiently in a time-bound manner so that we produce enough of it. Friends, when we are talking about the age-appropriate, the time-appropriate education, we also must be conscious of the global situation. The geopolitical situation in the world is such that is heavily impacting on the geo-economic environment of the world, the global geo-economic environment. A large number of technology giants, they are shifting their manufacturing from China. They are looking for areas, the countries where they can relocate and do business, that is manufacturing. And they are looking to India with a great hope, because in the last about a decade, the transformation that has happened in the country, it gives them the confidence that India is a prospective destination for relocating their manufacturing from China to India. The way we have built our infrastructures, the way we have improved our power generations, very essentials, the way we have created an ecosystem of innovation and enterprise. We all know that from almost negligible, just a few hundred, less than 500, today we are over 100,000 startups. All these, so much so that today we are among the top 3 startup ecosystem in the world. They also know that India is the most digitized country in the world. Most digitized country. Now this digital transformation that has happened in India, that mindset towards enterprise, experiment, doing things new, which we see, and we see palpably, we can feel it. And the way we are building infrastructure, we have built and we are further building, all are essential elements of a healthy ecosystem where these companies would be looking forward to India as their destination. Now, in this, in our state, we have to create that so that we attract more and more of them. Investors will not come just because we ask or we go and have a talk. Nobody will, every corporate entity values, like each one of us values every dollar. They would not like to sink in if the place is not conducive. But they are very hard bargainer. They don't be swayed like public that you talk and you can impress through packaging and advertising. They are hardcore realists. When they see that yes, they invest a dollar, they will get at least, if not two, at least $1.5, only then they will invest in. For which we need to be prepared. And in our country, we see there are many states which are doing it. For example, let's say Haryana, a small state. Its foreign direct investment is comparable to our state, Tamil Nadu. It was nowhere till a few years back. Today, they are giving us competition. There are many states, many areas where there are these global giants who are looking for relocating their manufacturing. They are moving to those places. We need to create that, and for that, essential element is creating competent, appropriately skilled human resource. Only then we will be able to avail ourselves of the advantage of this opportunity. This is a unique opportunity that India has today. The confidence of the world is today, the world says India is the engine of global economic recovery. After pandemic, when the global economy sunk and many countries are facing recession-like situation, it did impact our own exporters or export-based industries because demand has slumped. But nevertheless, our economy is the fastest growing economy in the world. In this fastest growing economy, which gives confidence to the manufacturers and the global giants, we need to create that environment in our state where we produce sufficient number of youth who would be able to meet their needs and demands. This is very, very crucial. It has an opportunity, we must not let it go waste. Friends, we all know that teaching and learning, it improves, we all benefit if we share, if we exchange. Last year when we had the conference of Vice Chancellors, at that point of time I had shared with you my concern that we have been working, each institution works like an island in itself, especially the state universities. We work in isolation. in silos. That's not the right approach. We must meet, we must exchange our knowledge, our experience, learn from others, share what we are doing. And each one of us has some USP, something good to share, and each one of us has something to learn from. Now this culture of working in isolation, it must break. The reason why I like to have the private universities, the state universities all together, that while even the state universities, there are rarely we meet in a functional, operational way. Meeting all would help us to stimulate more exchanges, more experience sharing. I would also urge you that there are institutions in our country which are doing very, very well, and they have a lot to share with us. We need to get into a collaboration with them. Collaboration in an active collaboration is not a collaboration like signing an MOU, a formality. When I met the industries and I asked them that how is it that you are not encouraging our students coming to you for industry experience, and they told me, this was after about a year, they told me, sir, we will not take them. I said, why? I said, we don't want guests, a visitor who comes once a week or twice a week. As a guest, we have to depute somebody. The person moves around and goes. We will welcome them if they come and stay with us for 6 months. Work with us. Soil their hand. Only then they will learn and we will also get some advantage. Now, when I said exchange, I am calling to universities exchange. It should not be a mere formality of signing an MOU. It must be a qualitatively operational exchange. Exchange of faculties, students. So get into collaboration mode. And I would urge all the Vice Chancellors present here to think over it, work over it. Identify those institutions, get in touch with them, visit those institutions, invite some of them to your institutions, build it up. And we have capacity, not that we don't have. We are doing with some of the foreign countries, foreign institutions we are doing. Some of our universities are doing very well, but that's not enough. We need all of us to do it. We need to build it up. Building a collaborative effort within the state universities, private universities, and between them, among them, and also with institutions of excellence outside the state. We need to build on. Only then we will become competitive. Only then we will be able to produce our youth who would be able to compete and win. Otherwise, if this continues, it will be a huge loss. Huge loss not only to the individual youths, individual families, but loss to the state and the nation. And a significant degree of that culpability, the responsibility will fall on us. Let's remember it. We are in a very serious business. Serious business to produce youth appropriately educated, skilled, who are confident to take on the challenge, who are confident to meet the needs and demands of the time. Friends, I'm sure in the day-long deliberations, among yourself and with the resource persons, you will be able to have a very meaningful exchanges and experience sharing. Make use of it. Make use of it. And if you think at any stage that Chancellor can be a catalyst, I will be happy to organize in future on a specific themes. Today also we are working on a specific themes. It's not that it's a generic discussion. But if you wish so, I'll be very happy to do that, to act as a facilitator, and will be happy to call the resource persons from rest of the country. They will be very happy to come and share with you. Let's make the best use of it. I wish all of you a very comfortable and happy stay and the best of the day's deliberations. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned earlier, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar, Chairman, University Grants Commission, is unable to join us due to certain commitments, but he has addressed this August session through an audio visual, which will be played now.
from different universities of Tamil. Vanakkam, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Shri Raviji, distinguished colleagues from different universities of Tamil Nadu. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this conference of the Vice Chancellors. Though virtually, friends, I am very happy to know that you have gathered today to discuss and brainstorm on the implementation of the national education policy in the higher educational institutions of Tamil Nadu. Friends, you know that on July 29th this year, we will be completing 3 years of the launching of the national education policy. During last 3 years, lot of effort has been put by universities such as yours and also the Ministry of Education and the University Grants Commission to introduce several reforms in our higher educational institution. So what I am going to do is to tell you about some of the important reforms that we have introduced and what is the progress that we have achieved during the last 3 years. Friends, you know that the national education policy aims at transforming our Indian higher education into an equitable, vibrant knowledge ecosystem in a very sustainable manner. And while doing so, we also want to instill in the learners the deep-rooted pride of being an Indian, not only in thought, but also in spirit and intellect and in the deeds, reflecting the true global citizenship. Friends, there is also an increased emphasis in the national education policy as compared to the previous educational policies on strengthening the Indian languages, heritage and culture. So NEP 2020 of course is a vision document, but we have culled out some thrust areas in higher education from the NEP 2020 vision document. And you know, on top of these thrust areas lies our objective of providing holistic education and multidisciplinary education to our students. You know, if I recall a shloka which is attributed to Mahabharata, it is said that 1/4 of education to the students comes from the teacher, 1/4 of the education comes through critical thinking, and 1/4 of education comes through peer learning, and 1/4 of education comes from experience. So here you can see that the role of the teacher is only as a mentor, and that role is only 1/4, and that is what we want to achieve in our higher education system. And 50 years ago we could have predicted what are the jobs that are going to come in next 10 years. But today technology changing so fast, you will not be able to predict what jobs are going to come up in next couple of years. Therefore, if we train our students only in specific areas, by the time they complete their academic program, they may not be suitable for the kind of jobs that are going to come. And that's the reason why we want to provide multidisciplinary education to our students. And I will tell you what are the facilities that we have created, what are the opportunities that we have created to the students in order to acquire this multidisciplinary education. And friends, you know that today we have close to about 4.1 crore students in the higher education, and the estimates indicate that this number will double and triple in the coming years. And at the pace that we are doing, if we continue to build our higher educational institutions, we will not be able to meet the aspirations of our younger generation. That is why national education policy emphasizes on introducing digital technology and online education. And a lot is being done in this area, and I will explain to you in a couple of minutes. We also have seen that when the students pass out of the educational institutions, many of them they find getting employment. It is not because there are no jobs, it is because there is a mismatch between the skills that they are acquiring in the colleges and universities and the skills that are required on the job. And this is where the national education policy is working very seriously to introduce skill education as part of the regular education itself, and also to remove the boundaries between the regular general education and the skill and vocational education, so that the employability of our students improves. And you know that India now stands at third place in terms of the number of publications. We are publishing many papers as compared to several years ago. But however, the quality of the research is something that we need to seriously look at. How many of our papers are being cited? How much of the research that we are doing is actually impacting the global research? That is an area in which we need to seriously work. Although we have certain institutions of excellence in the country who are doing outstanding research, we need to go beyond those institutions. We need to improve the research ecosystem in our higher educational institutions, in universities and colleges across the country. That is why the national education policy puts special emphasis on improving the research ecosystem, the innovation culture and entrepreneurship in our universities. And several steps have been taken to address this issue in our educational institutions. And you know that teachers are the building blocks of our universities and colleges, and we need to train them in the modern pedagogical approaches. We need to train them to use modern technologies, digital technologies in our educational processes. So therefore, there is a great need for capacity building of our teachers, and we are already planning on training nearly 15 lakh teachers across the country in the next 2 years. A lot of groundwork is already being done in that direction. Another thing, friends, is that the governance structures in our universities need to be improved. We need to ensure that the leadership of the universities and colleges encourages free inquiry. There is freedom of thought. You need to create an ecosystem where our students and faculty, they are able to do research in disciplines in which they want to pursue their research. There has to be greater autonomy to our educational institutions. We are going to come up with several regulations and guidelines to enhance the autonomy of our institutions. And quality accreditation and ranking is also an area of great interest for all of us, because you know that unless our educational institutes are assessed and accredited, we will not know where we are standing in terms of providing high quality education to our students. So therefore then the NAC processes are going to be greatly reformed, and we are going to bring newer processes in the accreditation process, so that accreditation domain, so that many more colleges and universities can participate in this assessment and accreditation process and improve the quality of education. Friends, you also know that many of our students come from rural backgrounds. In fact, 60% of our colleges are located in rural setups. Nearly 45% of our universities are located in rural backgrounds. And we need to ensure that our education is equitable and our education is inclusive. And several measures are being taken, especially by introducing digital technology, to ensure that our education becomes equitable and inclusive. Friends, there is an important area on which all of us have to focus our attention. That is promoting Indian languages in our higher educational institutions, and also introducing Indian knowledge systems in our educational processes. Let me take you forward and talk about few important reforms that are being introduced in the higher education domain. One of the important technology platforms that we have introduced in higher education is the academic bank of credits. This is a very, very progressive reform, and using the academic bank of credits, by onboarding every student in our higher educational institutions on the academic bank of credits, you can actually store the academic credits of all the learners who are part of our higher educational institutions. The credit verification can be done, accumulation, transfer and redemption of these credits can be done. And the advantage of these academic bank of credits is that it will provide a technology platform for the students to choose their own learning path, to have a flexible curriculum framework and choose courses of their choice, acquire these credits and store it in the academic bank of credits. I urge all the heads of institutions who have gathered in this conference to ensure that your university registers on the academic bank of credits, to ensure that every student is onboarded on this academic bank of credits. And then you also need to ensure, and this is the most important part, that all their transcripts, credits and whatever certificates the students are issued, all these documents also have to be uploaded on the academic bank of credits, so that when the student, while they are studying in your own college or university, they can log into the academic bank of credits and then see the progress that they are making from semester to semester. And even after they pass out of our institutions, these credentials, these certificates will be there in a secure manner in this academic bank of credits. And tomorrow, if any employer want to check the veracity of their documents, they can come to the academic bank of credits and check it. Or if the students are going for higher education, or they are changing from one institution to the other institution, the documents can be checked, verified on this academic bank of credits. So friends, I urge you to ensure that when the students move from one semester to the other semester, they must have this unique academic bank of credits number, unique ID. Without that ID, the students should not be able to register for the next semester. So this will ensure that all the students are onboarded on the academic bank of credits. Later I will tell you that as part of the implementation of the national credit framework, in fact we will be ensuring that every child who joins in the school system are also onboarded on the academic bank of credits. The other biggest reform that we have introduced in the higher education is, friends, you know that our students, while they want to get admission in the higher educational institutions, they have to write multiple entrance examinations. You have exams such as joint entrance examination, and every university also conducts their own entrance examination. And some universities admit the students based on the board marks, and this is creating a lot of stress to our students. Therefore, NEP 2020 proposed that we should have as minimum entrance test as possible, and ultimately we should work towards having only one national entrance test for all the admission process. But of course that is a process that will happen over a period of time in consultation with all the stakeholders. But meanwhile, UGC has introduced the Common University Entrance Test. CUET has now become very popular for admission in programs such as BA, BSc, BCom, and you know that nearly 70% of our students in higher educational institutions, they actually pursue BA, BCom and BSc. We are now in the second year of the implementation of the CUET, and the exam is currently being conducted across the country. It started on 21st May. What is interesting is that this year the number of participating institutions has gone up from about 90 to nearly 230 universities or so. And also the number of students who are participating in CUET has gone up. Last year it was only 9.9 lakhs, but this year it is 15 lakh students. Among the southern states, after Kerala, the largest number of students are participating in CUET from Tamil Nadu. And this entrance examination is also designed in such a way that there is no need for coaching, and the syllabus of the 12th standard is used so that the students are still fresh after writing the board examinations. They can participate in the CUET. We also sensitize the paper setters to make sure that the difficulty level is comfortable for the students to answer the questions in the Common University Entrance Test, and it is being conducted in several Indian languages including Tamil. And this year we will be announcing the results of the Common University Entrance Test before 25th June or so that from 1st July you can start the admission process and complete the admission process by July end, so that the academic session can start not later than 1st August. So after COVID, now we will be back to the regular academic session because of this Common University Entrance Test, which takes care of the admission process of the largest number of students across the country. Friends, if I have to tell one of the biggest reforms that has been introduced in our higher education since independence, that is the introduction of the National Credit Framework. And I'm sure most of you must have read the National Credit Framework, but let me very briefly highlight what does this National Credit Framework do. For the implementation of the National Credit Framework, the government has just formed an Apex committee, and I am the chairman of that Apex committee. Soon we will be rolling out this National Credit Framework across the country. So what is this framework? Well, this is a comprehensive meta framework encompassing elementary education, school education, higher education, vocational education and skill education. It integrates the creditization of learning from the different modes of education. It could be online education, offline education, even experiential learning. And for the first time, we have defined what does credit mean. If I am attending lectures in the classroom, if I am doing lab work, or if I am doing internship, I am doing field work. So how do we assign credits to this kind of learning, multi ways of learning that the students carry out? So these are defined in the National Credit Framework so that there is a uniform definition of the credits across the country. And also credit levels are assigned by dividing the entire education from level 1 to level 8. For example, when the student completes the 5th standard of education, we call that level 1. 6th, 7th and 8th is called level 2. 9th and 10th is called level 3. 12th and 11th and 12th is called level 4. So by the time the students complete their 12th standard or level 4 education, they are expected to acquire at least 160 credits and store them in the academic bank of credits. And when the students join in the undergraduate program, they start at level 4.5 and then they move on from undergraduate program to the postgraduate program, and then if they wish to pursue further, they can move to the PhD, and this is what is called level 8. And in the National Credit Framework, we have also introduced the multi-entry and multi-exit scheme, so that if the students want to exit at the end of, let's say, second year of their BA program, then they will get undergraduate diploma. If they want to exit at the end of first year of their BA program, they will get undergraduate certificate so that they can continue to do what they want to do, or they can come back to the educational system and then continue higher studies. Another important thing that we have done in the National Credit Framework is that there is no difference between, we don't differentiate between skill education and the general higher education. For example, if a student has studied 10th class and then they moves to ITI, and after ITI, today we think that that is the end of their studies. But we want to make this skill education also aspirational, and that's the reason why in the National Credit Framework we said that a student who has done 10th class but then moves on to skill education or apprenticeship kind of work and does ITI, that student by taking 1 or 2 language courses through, for example, even online means or through National Institution of Open Learning, they will be given credits and they will be given a 12th standard certificate. So from now onwards, the student can move on and get admission by clearing entrance examinations such as CUET in higher educational institutions. And that's how the students will feel that if they are doing ITI, that's not the end of their educational journey, and it is aspirational. They can go for higher educational qualifications also. And the National Credit Framework therefore empowers the students through the flexibility of the choice of courses that they can do. In order to operationalize the National Credit Framework, UGC has also come up with the National Higher Education Qualification Framework, and you can see this document that is available on the UGC website. Here we have defined not only the number of credits that the students have to acquire as they move from one semester to the other semester, but we have also defined the learning outcomes for every level, so that there is much more flexibility for the students to move from one discipline to the other discipline or one institution to the other